folks. This is Unit 1, Lesson 17, and today we talked about squares and cubes. For a long time, a lot of us have known when we're talking about the area of squared, we read it as unit squared, but what does that really mean? So a square is two-dimensional, it's 2D, right? And what we know about squares is that all four of its sides are equal lengths, right? So some numbers are perfect squares, right? Meaning that we can make a perfect square out of them, right? So 2, for example, if you have a square that is 2 by 2, it has 4. So 4 is considered to be a perfect square. 2 squared equals 4. The square root of 4 equals 2. Okay, so we've got perfect squares in that. We are talking about if it's a perfect square, it means that we could take that number of tiles and arrange them in a perfect square. 4 tiles can be arranged into a perfect square. 3 tiles can't, right? We'd either have something that looks like this or looks like this, not a square at all. 9 tiles can be arranged in a perfect square. 8 can't. So 4 is considered to be a perfect square. 9 is considered to be a perfect square because they can be arranged into squares using that number of tiles. Cubes are 3-dimensional. So I'm going to switch to my cubes now. Obviously, if I have 1 cube, that is a perfect cube, right? But if I have 2 cubes, I can't put them together in a way that makes a cube. Remember that the definition of a cube is that all of the dimensions on this 3-dimensional shape, all of the faces are squares and all of the squares are identical. Okay, so what's the next number that I can arrange into a perfect cube? I can't do it with 3. I can't actually do it with 4. Sometimes people think you can do it with 4, but this isn't a cube because these faces, while this is a square, these faces are rectangular, right? So the next cube I can make, it was 1 by 1. The next cube that I can make is actually a 2 by 2 by 2. Catch those 3 dimensions there, right? And so a 2 by 2 by 2 cube would look like this, right? All of my faces would be like this. And it would actually take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubes to make. So 8 is my next number that is a perfect cube, right? So when we're talking about perfect squares and perfect cubes, the important thing to remember is, can you build it? If you have that number of tiles for 2-dimensional, can you build a square out of those tiles? If you have that many cubes, could you build a cube? It may help to use some of our apps, or if you have cubes at home, to build those to help you with that. It may help you to try to draw out the squares if you have that. Remember that we find the area of a square by taking its length times its width, and we find the volume of a cube by multiplying all 3 of its dimensions, its length, its width, and its height. That should be enough to get you through homework tonight. Good luck.